on the fact that over the past like year and a half, 2 years, Jordan couldn't beat him. And not only were the promos great and better than like a lot of what you see on WWE television right now or anywhere really, but the match itself was awesome. And I think you lose that when you see that. You see him in the NXT UK, it's kind of like just boring, straightforward, blah, blah, blah. If you get a chance, I would strongly recommend, because Progress did a great job of it on their YouTube, giving out free matches. They have a match with him versus Tyler Bate. And I believe, I think they were probably told not to put up the one versus Pete Dunne he had that was really good, because
makes sense, yeah.
Kind of going to see that. So, yeah, I would definitely say take a look at that. And it's his economy of moves. It's the fact that as a big man, it can get a little tedious with the WWE version of him. But when you watch the Euro version of him, he's basically a monster. He doesn't have to be a 7-footer to do that, but he's basically the guy that you're going to have to either keep him down, or when he hits you, you're going to go down. And I think the more you can watch that stuff, the more you'll see him on his kind of like Shinsuke, New Japan versus Shinsuke and WWE. Look at the stuff that made him great, and then see him on his like retirement / get rich tour.
Got it. Okay, that makes sense now. It's hard to explain, because I don't even know, because it's not something I've watched. Like I could try to, but it's something I can't explain. So thank you finally for on recording explaining Walter, because I've been trying to get this figured out.
Oh, no problem. He contains multitudes. He is a difficult nut to crack. I know.
Fair enough. And hopefully the match at NXT kind of shows off. You know what I mean? I'm just hoping. I really do. 'Cause I want that match to be good. I really do. So.
Yeah, they need it to. If you're gonna try to get like Walter over in the United States outside of the fans like me, who are weirdos and have like 57 different subscriptions to services, you're gonna need it. Like, one good example of this is, again, WXWnow.com is the website for it. They have a stable called Ring Conf, and that's where Axel Dieter Jr. came from. He was in that crew. He was with Walter and Timothy Thatcher, and they had a young, like, not like a young lion because it's not Japanese, but they had a young dude that joined the group. His name is Veit Muller, and he's basically like a baby bull. Like, he looks like he's gonna murder people when he gets older, but right now he's kind of like that calf, legs splailing, all that stuff. And Timothy Thatcher is like in Ring Comp. He's like the dad that gives you like just enough in the pickup game so you get respect from him and you feel like you did something. Well, Walter is the dad that dunks on you at 6 years old and is boxing you out and is throwing you into the, like, you can't handle this, you can't handle this. And so finally Veit was like, do you even want me in this group? And he's like, well, if you're acting like that, let's see it. And so they had a match. And that match, that would be another one I'd recommend, because you see this young dude like getting smoked. And finally, once, like, it's that moment when every guy has, where like you play your dad in a competitive sport and you hit him or you bump him and he realizes you're bigger than he thought you were. And that's what that entire match was. And so I enjoyed the heck out of that, because you got to see more of Dad Walter, and Dad Walter's fun.
All right. You know what's funny? For those listening, I don't even know if Rich has my run sheet in front of him. I know he was on the road, so I'm not sure if he has it in front of him. He just did a transition and didn't even realize it, because
I feel pretty good.
The next show is GCW Josh Barnett's Bloodsport. It is at White Eagle Hall in Jersey City, New Jersey, and the first match on here is Timothy Thatcher versus what is this? I cannot say this. Maybe I have to spell it out. Maybe you can help me out. Hideki Suzuki. How am I saying that?
Hideki Suzuki.
Suzuki. That is the first match on here. You did not realize you gave me a nice transition.
I mean, I love it. Last year I went to Matt Riddle's Bloodsport, and that was so much fun, because I love UWFI. I love rings. I love work shoot fighting, especially when it's done right, because then people don't get hurt and you still have the fun.
Fair
like
enough.
That last weekend or last year was really fun, real cool. And then when you look at Timothy Thatcher, I think any dude who has wrestling as good as he is, and that's his like second fun job, is a person who will forever get my respect.
Fair enough. The other matches they have announced are Killer Cross versus Davey Boy Smith and Jonathan Gresham versus Masato Tanaka. So
yeah, and Masato Tanaka looks like he's still like just got out of a fight with Mike Awesome 20 years ago.
That never changes, does it? It never changes.
No,
like, at all.
Him and Hakushi are the two dudes I cannot understand. Like, these dudes have had so much punishment, and they look like the same. They're like Highlanders, and I don't understand how.
All right. We move on to MLW Rise of the Renegades. It's a TV taping. This is not the one you're going to, but it's the other show.
Correct.
Going on at the Melrose Ballroom in Queens, New York. This is a hell of a card. I did not write every match down because we'd be here forever, but these are the highlights. It is the MLW World Championship New York City Street Fight between Tom Lawler and Jimmy Havoc. We have Parker versus Pentagon Jr. We have Ray Phoenix versus Airwolf. MJF versus Brian Pillman Jr. And they have a tables match with the Hart Foundation, Teddy Hart, Davey Boy Smith, and Brian Pillman Jr. versus the Dynasty, MJF, Alex Hammerstone, and Richard Holiday. Wow, that's a lot of great matches.
Yeah, and it's such a variety because it's not like obviously there are going to be some guys this coming week where they're going to be doing the what I called the Will Ospreay challenge or Matt Riddle challenge, where you try to get onto as many shows as possible in the 4 days. But with MLW, you're not going to see the Hearts almost anywhere else. You're not going to see some of those other guys, or you're not going to see a matchup like Jimmy Havoc and Filthy Tom, who's still recovering from his last UFC fight, I want to say, where he jacked his hand up pretty bad, and he's just gutting it out because that's the type of guy he is.
Fair enough. And that's a hell of a card, I'm not going to lie. And those are the TV tapings that will be going on the weeks after Battle Riot. Well, so good television to look forward to for MLW. Wow. Moving on to a show that is part of the collective that has the spring break shows in it, which is the main reason why it even came to my attention. This is one of those shows I wrote down because it made me laugh so hard that I had to include it. It is, and this is real, people, this is a real show happening in Jersey. It is Interspecies Wrestling, not a joke, presents Boner Jams 4 Balls Out. This is a real show, people. This is a real show. It is the King of Crazy Championship Fans Bring the Legos Deathmatch. Andy Starr, Matt Trayman, Jeff Cannonball, who were the guests over on Open Mic Wrestling Night, versus Viking. We have Sexy Eddie versus Swoggle. Team Tremendous versus the Jim Nasty Boys. Chris Dickerson versus Chris Brooks. And one of my favorite things on here, Fluffy, a guy in a bunny costume.
Oh, the Jim Nasty Boys are hilarious.
Well, Fluffy in a bunny costume versus LSG. And I wrote this down because it was so stupid I had to say it. The Bastien Snow Invitational Food Fight. Sorry, I read that wrong. Bastien Snow International Food Fight Invitational.
So now, what was the main event of the Interspecies Boner Jams 4?
The main event was actually the Fans Bring the Legos Death Match for the King of Crazy Championship.
Wow.
That was actually the main event. So go figure.
That's amazing.
You must have missed the Fluffy versus LSG in there too, which is random as hell. I thought that was funny. So, on to other serious news. We have the WrestleCon Super Show going on in New York City. Bandito versus Will Ospreay. How crazy is that match?
That's okay. I'm hoping Ospreay doesn't, because last year he was hurt, so he had to kind of go 20%, 30% to kind of save his body for the New Japan show he was going to go to 2 weeks after the fact. So I'm hoping he goes in because that should be an awesome match. That should be one of the matches people talk about over the course of the weekend as like, you needed to see this match or you needed to see it live.
Fair enough. And then also Zack Sabre Jr. is doing an open challenge. I don't know who is facing, but that's happening. And Dragon Lee is also facing, it looks like, Carano? I can't say this name right. But Dragon Lee's in a match too, so that's awesome. There's actually 3 matches announced, and I'm interested in the Super Show. Go figure. Good job, WrestleCon.
Well, WrestleCon does a really good job with only announcing like a match or two, and then by the time you get there, like that happened in New Orleans, you get there and I'm walking in and it's Ishii versus Jeff Cobb, and my face is melting.
Fair enough. All right. I will apologize to anyone that follows Japanese wrestling in the next minute. I'm gonna say that right now. This is DDT coming to America at Laboon in Queens, New York. I'm sorry, people. I don't know how to pronounce half these names, so I'm gonna try. Let's hear. Okay, I'm gonna try this. It is Takashita versus Sasaki.
Sasaki.
And then we have Mal versus... You know what's funny? People are laughing at me because I'm doing this, and the same thing's going to happen when I do my do the Russian names for our NHL award show in June. The same thing's going to happen. It's a weapon rumble in the USA. Mal versus Shanaro Takaji, which is a good match. I'm not going to lie. I know the name, but I just can't pronounce them. Go figure. And then, of course, we have the Iron Man Heavy Metal Weight Championship, the late entry Battle Royale, which is a match that I can't believe I just said. And it's Shaoaki versus Makoto Oshihara. I'm not even going to bother anymore. But Colt Cabana's in this match. Well, that's interesting. That's a name I know. That's a name I can pronounce. Woohoo! Colt Cabana's in this match. And I just like the fact there's also, it said X. Not a name to be named later. The wrestler's name was X. Go figure. All right, let's get to a show I can actually pronounce everybody's name. Impact Wrestling United
Nailed
We
it.
Stand in Rahway, New Jersey. Why is Impact doing a show at 11 p.m. on a Thursday?
Because they figured, why not? I mean, really, they wanted to join. They wanted to be with the cool kids, and so they showed up, 50 miles and several hours after they all left.
It's not the only show going on this late, but Impact used to be a big deal. And the fact that I have it listed in the indie section is hysterical to me. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah, to me, having your show during the time where you have a Joey Ryan's penis party or Joey Janela's spring break isn't going to help because you're not going to be as wacky as those guys.
No.
And what are you doing then? Or it's not a kaiju big battle where you're going to be like seeing, kaiju wrestling in a ring.
We'll get to that in a minute. We'll get to that.
Oh boy.
But this is actually a pretty good show. If it was on if this was on Friday, I would totally watch this show. I would totally watch it. It's only $20. I would totally pick this show up and watch it after NXT and MLW. I would totally watch it. But it's on Thursday, and I do have things to do. So, I do have work on Friday morning, so there's no way in hell I can watch this show live. We have a match that I'm not gonna admit, this is really cool. Lucha Brothers versus Rob Van Dam and Sabu.
Yeah, they opened up with a big one.
Wow. That is still huge. I still can't believe they're doing that match. It is happening. The rest of the card pretty much goes like this. They're doing Impact versus Lucha match. It is Brian Cage, Moose, Eddie Edwards, and Johnny Impact. Not quite sure how that team's going to work. Versus Drago Daga, Aerostar, and King Cuerno. Sure. Let's just do that.
That's the match.
Exactly. Impact Wrestling X Division Championship, Rich Swann versus Yamato, which this is the most underwhelming Rich Swann match of the weekend, I think, for me. Not going to lie.
I'm with you on that.
Yeah. Ultimate X, we have Jake Chris versus Dante Fox versus Pat Buck. Kato Brazil, Jack Evans, and they can't even announce the last person because I don't even think they know who it is.
They're like, we'll get there. We'll get there.
We have a Monsters Ball match between Sammy Callahan and Jimmy Havoc. That's